Let me share with you a story that begins with music and ends in silence. Not just any silence, but the kind that carries weight, the kind that lingers louder than words. Back in 2003, Sean Paul was everywhere. His voice filled radio stations, his songs topped charts, and his unique blend of dancehall and pop made him an international star. You couldn't go into a club without hearing his music. His rhythm was fresh, his energy unstoppable, and his rise felt unstoppable. Then came Baby Boy, a collaboration with Beyonce. On paper, it was perfect. One of the hottest new stars in music teamed up with one of the most promising female artists in the world. And when the song dropped, it was explosive, sexy, catchy, and made for the radio. Their voices blended seamlessly, the chemistry in the video was undeniable, and the song became an instant classic. For fans, it was pure magic. But behind that fire and success, something dark was happening. Something that, even years later, still sparks debates and rumors. People began whispering, then shouting, about possible tension. They wondered if Sean Paul had been pushed aside, not by accident, but by design. The name tied to those suspicions? Jay-Z. At the time, Jay-Z wasn't just Beyoncé's collaborator or boyfriend. He was already building himself into a powerful figure in music. Protective, influential, and deeply invested in how Beyoncé's career unfolded. According to stories that spread back then, Jay-Z wasn't happy with how close Sean Paul and Beyoncé appeared on screen. The video for Baby Boy didn't help calm the talk. It was intense, steamy, full of sparks, with Beyoncé dancing effortlessly while Sean Paul added his smooth charm. Fans loved it, but some insiders claimed that the heat on screen felt a little too real. While most people brushed it off as performance chemistry, the rumors suggested Jay-Z didn't take it so lightly. Sean Paul later admitted that things quickly got uncomfortable. It wasn't just the tabloids running wild, it was his career being affected. He started facing situations that didn't feel like bad luck, they felt intentional. The first sign came during a live performance. Sean Paul was supposed to join Beyoncé on stage. The crowd was ready, his band was ready, the energy was high. But when he stepped up to sing, his microphone didn't work, completely silent. His own team was furious because this wasn't a glitch. Someone had deliberately cut the mic. That wasn't an accident. That was a warning. Then came another strange moment. At an MTV show in Scotland, Sean Paul and Beyoncé had rehearsed a fiery performance surrounded by literal flames. Everything was planned perfectly, but when it was time for Sean Paul's verse, the track skipped right past him, as if he wasn't even there. The audience had no idea, but Sean Paul stood in shock. Afterward, Beyoncé herself pulled him aside. She asked him directly about the rumors, telling him that the gossip could damage her career. Sean Paul swore he had nothing to do with it. He didn't start the stories, he didn't feed them, but it didn't matter. That conversation changed everything. From that point on, their partnership cooled. The biggest blow came at the MTV Video Music Awards. Sean Paul had been told he'd receive rehearsal details, but no one ever contacted him. He showed up ready, only to sit in the audience as Beyoncé performed Baby Boy alone. His voice echoed through the speakers, but his presence was missing. No explanation, no invitation, nothing. For Sean Paul, it was humiliating. He had been erased from his own hit. But he couldn't speak up. In the music industry, complaining doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look bitter. If he dared to protest, people would label him jealous or messy, and that label could destroy his career. So he stayed quiet. Still, the experience left scars. Years later, when Sean Paul finally spoke openly, you could tell how deeply it had affected him. He wasn't angry or dramatic, just honest. He described how doors slowly began to close after Baby Boy. Invitations stopped coming, collaborations disappeared, and he felt like there was an invisible hand pushing him out of spaces where he once belonged. Many suspected that hand belonged to Jay-Z. Jay-Z himself never admitted to anything, but Sean Paul couldn't ignore certain things. For instance, Jay once dropped a lyric in a song, "Run up on me at the light, you will lose your life, need a light." Sean Paul couldn't help but notice the similarity to his own breakout hit, Gimme the Light. Was it a coincidence? Maybe, but stacked against everything else, the mic cut, the skipped verse, the VMAs snub, it began to look less like chance and more like strategy. Sean Paul wasn't born into the industry. He worked his way up, carving his space through hard work, charisma, and originality. For him, Baby Boy should have been a celebration, a milestone marking his global reach. Instead, it became the start of a shadowy period where he felt blacklisted. And Sean Paul wasn't the only one. Whispers started surfacing about how Jay-Z reacted when other men worked closely with Beyonce. Rapper Bun B once revealed that Jay ordered every man off the set during the Check On It video shoot. There wasn't a safety issue. Jay just didn't want men around Beyonce as she danced. He wasn't even there. He made the call from afar. The entire set cleared, and Beyonce had to apologize afterward for the awkward disruption. That wasn't an isolated moment. Some believed Jay influenced how Beyonce's projects unfolded, minimizing male collaborations. Usher, for example, was pushed into the background of the Naughty Girl video. Fans also noticed that Beyonce rarely teamed up with male artists after a certain point. For someone of her stature, the list of male collaborations remained surprisingly short. Was that coincidence or control? For Sean Paul, the fallout was personal. He later admitted that he felt like he couldn't even mention Beyonce's name in interviews without facing pushback. Even though he never accused Jay-Z directly, his words carried a tone of suspicion, like he believed powerful forces were steering things behind the scenes. The fact that Baby Boy, one of Beyonce's biggest early hits, was only performed together a handful of times says it all. If the chemistry was so strong on camera, why wasn't it celebrated on stage? Why was Sean Paul erased from the moment? Eventually, in a candid interview with Daily Beat, Sean Paul finally laid it all out. He explained that he and Beyonce never spent much time together while recording. It was strictly professional. They didn't hang out, they didn't build a close bond. Yet the rumors of romance spread like wildfire. And in the music world, perception is everything. Sean Paul couldn't control the gossip, but he paid the price for it. He also opened up about the helplessness he felt. When your mic gets cut during a live show, there's no recovering. When your verse is skipped, you can't go back and fix it. When you're excluded from rehearsals, you can't force yourself on stage. You're stuck. And if you speak out, you risk your reputation. It's a trap with no way out. The message was clear. Step too close to the queen, and you risk disappearing. Over time, fans began connecting the dots. Beyonce's shrinking number of male collaborations, Sean Paul's sudden distance, Usher's reduced role, Bun B's story. The pieces painted a picture of Jay-Z as someone not just protective, but controlling. Was it jealousy? Was it about power? Maybe both. Beyonce was rising quickly, building her brand into something untouchable. Perhaps Jay-Z saw any man linked too closely to her as a threat, whether to their relationship, her image, or his own empire. And there was another angle. Rumors had long followed Jay-Z about his own behavior with women in the industry. If those whispers were true, maybe his actions toward Sean Paul weren't just about protecting Beyonce, but about projecting his own insecurities. He knew what men could be capable of because he saw it in himself. Sean Paul, however, never went on a revenge campaign. He never exposed receipts or tried to drag Beyonce or Jay-Z down. That's not his style. Instead, he carried himself with humility, letting his music speak. But when he did talk, you could sense the sting. What should have been one of the brightest highlights of his career turned into a shadow he couldn't fully escape. And yet, time has a way of revealing truths. Fans revisited old clips, pieced together testimonies, and began seeing a pattern. Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper or businessman, he was a gatekeeper. He had influence, power, and the ability to open or close doors. And for Sean Paul, those doors started closing right after Baby Boy. Even now, the mystery remains unsolved. Why was Sean Paul shut out? Why did one of Beyonce's biggest songs never get the spotlight of live performances with both stars together? Why, years later, does it still feel like an untouchable topic? Maybe the answer lies in fear. Jay-Z isn't just a celebrity, he's a mogul with reach beyond music. Speaking against him comes with risks, and Sean Paul understood that. That's why he stayed quiet for so long. That's why, even when he finally shared his story, he kept his tone measured. In the end, Baby Boy remains a hit, but beneath its catchy rhythm and iconic visuals lies a deeper story, a story of pride, control, and paranoia. A story where a rising artist got caught in the middle of a much bigger game of power. And while the music still plays, the silence between Sean Paul and Beyoncé speaks louder than any lyric. Because sometimes what isn't said carries more weight than what is.